everyone feeling? Can we get a big round of applause for Linda for her amazing work with Vaccine Choice Canada? And I also want to just take a brief moment and give a round of applause for the beautiful police that are standing over here for doing such a great job of keeping us safe. Thank you, officers. We respect you. Thank you so much. And finally, I just want to gather us actually to start with a breath. I just want us to do 3 inhales together. And I think that this is really important because this is what we're here for. You know, we come from all different spiritual traditions. I do want to honor that we have many different ethnicities here, orientations, spiritual traditions, and we're actually being unified in love and from the power and sacredness of our breath, protecting that. So can we just all take a moment and just close our eyes and just feel our feet on the ground, giving gratitude to the Indigenous communities that have stewarded this land for a very long time. And just feeling that connection to the earth. Let's just take a deep inhale together. And release with a sigh. Let me just do 2 more of those. I want to hear those sighs. So 1 deep inhale. Beautiful. 1 last one and make it really silly. Beautiful. This is why we're here. We're defending our right to breathe fresh air. Who thought that we would be here in humanity? I did not, but my name is Phoenix Amara. I am a single mother. I co-parent with my child's father in Delta. I am a spiritual teacher. I do energy healing, and I have lots of experience in activism. And last week, I had an experience on the ferry that was very shocking to me because I lived in China back in 2003. I have many dear friends that are Chinese. I speak the language. And I saw and talked to people that had lived through the horrors of communism, okay? People telling me stories about their loved ones being killed by the Mao regime, being threatened, all of it. And now we see what's happened in China with the social credit rating system. This is not a joke, okay? If you're unfamiliar with this system, it is a color-coded system where people basically are rated on their social actions. Okay, now we see this taking place all across Canada now. Ontario is starting to initiate a color-coded system for neighborhoods. Okay, so I was on the ferry last week and I have been stating my exemptions every single week on the ferry. And for the most part, everyone's been really nice, accommodating. I have experienced some discrimination and harassment, but I am smart and I film everything. So I highly recommend that you start using your phone as a body camera in situations, not to expect things, but for your protection. In case you need to file a lawsuit, a complaint, have recordings. So last week I boarded the ferry from Victoria and I took my daughter to her father's as a welcome passenger, which is my right as a Canadian, as a public citizen, as a law-abiding citizen who is respectful and kind to people who have other opinions, who love to wear their mask. That's fine. And after trying to get back onto the ferry with a ticket I'd already purchased, the woman told me that I couldn't get back on the ferry without a letter, okay? And when I got onto the ferry, there was the chief steward, 6 security officers telling me that I could not get back on the ferry because I didn't have a letter from my doctor, which is considered illegal. They cannot ask you for private information from your doctor to prove your medical exemption. So now they are calling, these security agents. There was 8 security officers who escorted me off the ship. And by now I'm crying because obviously my medical exemption is very personal to me and it's bringing and triggering up some really painful memories. And there was no empathy whatsoever from the BC Ferries officers. There was 1 first aid attendant that tried to help. And the manager, Brittany Sylvester, let's name her, okay? Brittany Sylvester, the ferry terminal manager, told him to step away from me and leave me alone and stop talking to me, and that she was going to call the cops on me because I wanted to record our conversation, okay? Just because I was crying. And so I'm not doing this to play the victim. I was stranded in Vancouver. That's the truth of it. I was being stranded in Vancouver, and so the cops came. They were lovely, but they had to come. They had to obey the BC Ferries employees and took me to a Tim Hortons in the middle of nowhere and stranded me in Vancouver. So I went and got their letter. I went and got a letter from the doctor the next day, and I returned on Wednesday. And they let me on the ferry because I had the letter that states, on their website. But this is not about COVID, and it's never been about COVID. I think we have to remember that we are dealing with a mind virus. We are dealing with a mind virus, and this is beyond racism. This is beyond discrimination. This is a mind virus that is designed to divorce us from our bodies, our consent, our compassion, and our human spirit. Experts like Rudolf Steiner had been calling this for a very long time with vaccines, with consent. Sexual abuse survivors have been talking about this. I've had hundreds of people reach out to me since this happened, because nobody should be discriminated against for A, their right to want to breathe fresh air, and B, for a medical exemption. And so the BC Ferries has now effectively banned me for life. Whoa. Okay? Whoa. This is not even just about me, this is about all of you, okay? This is about you having the ability to get off of this island should you want to choose to do so, okay? We need to start turning the heat up. This is not a joke. I now have to think about how to get my daughter back from the mainland, custody, and now a lawsuit, which we're gonna win. Because I have a video footage, and this is why it's so important to not stand down, right? Learn about common law assembly, learn about your sovereign rights, learn about how to talk to these people, get their names and numbers, talk to their management, put it on social media, and use this media and our voices for what we have right now, because there are people being mass tested in Slovakia. This is no joke. Someone reached out to me and said that they were being forced that they could not return to school or work without getting a COVID test. We know that they've now patented vaccines that can be delivered via nasal swab. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is called information, okay? So don't let people threaten or shame or try to intimidate you, and stay in your hearts, right? This is the thing, is that we need to be staying in our hearts and knowing and listening to this. Because we are in the midst of World War III. This is a spiritual war. This has been prophesied in many different spiritual traditions, and we are the ones that we've been waiting for. Seriously, friends, we are the ones, we are the Rainbow Warriors. We are the ones that are here to dismantle a system that has committed atrocious crimes towards Indigenous people through colonialism. In the Holocaust, you look at apartheid. This is the next level of discrimination that is designed to separate us, but love has won. And so thank you everyone for being here. Thank you everyone for being here. And let us continue to gather, okay? Thank you so much. And let's do this!
I just want to add a couple minutes of Phoenix's story up here. Phoenix, a couple months ago when you were on the ferry, you gave me a call, and it was through Messenger, and you were on the ferry when you were being harassed by another mask wearer. They had someone threw his mask at you or whatever it was and ridiculed you, and I just want to say that was the incident I think they may have used to kind of make an example out of you as you have a past history of prior disturbances. No, she was the one who was bullied and harassed on the ferry a couple months ago. And I know this because you would phone me and you were telling me about this.
And I videotaped it.
And you videotaped it too. So no, she was not causing a disturbance a couple months ago. No, she does not have a prior history.
Crying is not considered a disturbance. Emotions are not considered a disturbance. And this is what we're seeing, right? So this is why also too, when we're out in public and you see people, say, hey, I think you have a smile on behind your mask. Try to bring their compassion and humanity back, because people are being trained to think that it's okay to mask children, to throw babies off of airplanes because they don't have a mask on, to not let children play with each other. They're banning singing. They're banning singing. Like, come on. They're banning singing in schools, and this is not okay. But we need to be gathering regardless of what they're telling us, because it's not law, right? It's not law. No.
So also, I just want to add to your incident here that you are in contact with Tanya Gaw of Action for Canada.
And we're doing it. We're doing
and she
it,
is
everybody.
in contact with Rocco Galati, and we are going to win this case hands down. Whatever case, we have the
We're going to smash those mandates out of the water, just like California did with Governor Newsom. We're going to crush it.
We have basically Canada's top constitutional lawyer on our side in regards to this case right now. There is no way we're going to lose this, okay? And we're going to get you in contact with Laura Lynn, get you on her show, get your voice heard there. We want you on Odessa's show, Liberty Talk Canada. You're family, and you have our support, and we are going to win this for you, and we're going to win this for freedom and rights in general. So Phoenix, we got you. We got you covered. Don't you worry.